So people out there try to use what Jesus said when he said, I and the Father are one, to mean that Jesus is the Father. So I want to show you how that's simply not true at all. So I want to go into the scripture and let's read that scripture. Let's start there, and then I'm going to give you some other scriptures to go with that to show you what Jesus actually meant. So the scripture I'm referring to is in the book of John, chapter 10, specifically at verse 30. Now, it says this, I and my Father are one. But let's get a little more context than that. So what I want to do is I want to go to verse 29, the verse up. And let's just read from there. It says, my Father which gave them me is greater than all, and no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand. I and my Father are one. So we got Jesus referring to sheep that God gave him. Even if you go up a little further in the context, you will see what he's talking about. But I don't want to go that far right now because I want to make this a short video. So the whole point what I'm making is that that's the scripture they use, where Jesus said, I and the Father are one. I and my Father are one. That does not mean that Jesus is the Father, because when you do that, you're trying to eliminate the Son. And this is the Son talking. Now, let's go to John chapter 17, and I want to give you a little more understanding of what Jesus was saying. So John chapter 17, I want to first read verse 11, and it says this. It says, and now I am no more in the world. This is Jesus talking. And he says, but these are in the world, and this is Jesus praying to the Father. So he says, and now I am no more in the world, but these are in the world, and I have come to thee. Holy Father, keep through thine own name those whom thou hast given me, that they may be one as we are one. So now Jesus is praying to the Father, asking the Father to keep those whom God have given him, and he says, keep them in his own name, that they may be one as we are one. See, Jesus referred to him and the Father as one, and now when I read the next scripture, you will know what he's talking about. So he's saying to Father, keep them in your own name, whom thou hast given me, that they may be one as we are one. So he's referring to everyone that God gave him. All the believers, all those who follow Jesus. Jesus is praying that the Father would, make them one. Now you got many different people, but yet Jesus saying to the Father to, that they may be one. And he says, as we are one. So he's referred to him and the Father. That's a plural word there. As we, meaning more than one, as in Father and Son, as we are one. And let's I'm gonna show you what he's talking about. Let's go to verse 20. And I'm gonna read through 23. This is Jesus again. He's praying to the Father still. He says, neither pray I for these alone, but for them also which shall believe on me through their word, that they all may be one. That they all may be one, as thou, Father, art in me, and I in thee. So now Jesus just broke down what he mean by him and the Father being one. So he says that they all may be one, as thou, meaning as you, Father, are in me, and I in thee. I mean, I in you. And he says that they also may be one in us. See now, so now understand what Jesus is saying, because people take that scripture all out of context. And now they try to say, see, Jesus is the Father. He said, I and the Father are one. Well, that just shows that you lack the understanding there. You lack the understanding. Or you trying to purposely deceive those who believe, or those who could believe. Because he says, verse 21, that they all, meaning many, that many believers, that they all may be one as thou, Father, or so that they may be one as the Father is in Jesus and Jesus in the Father. That's what he means by when he says, as thou, Father, art in me and I in thee. That they, as thou, Father, art in me and I in thee. He says that they also may be one in us. So now these believers can be one in the Father and in the Son. So he's not talking about that that the Father in himself is one, meaning they the same person. No, he's talking about in unity, meaning that the Father is in him and he is in the Father. And so now remember, Jesus said, if you abide in me and my words abide in you, you know, that's what he was talking about. Jesus abiding in the believers and the believers abiding in Jesus by his word. So remember 1 Corinthians 12, you know, and I'm not going to read those scriptures there, but I go to it, and it talks about that there are many members of the body, but it's only one body. But there are many members. How can these many people be one? Because they are all in unity with the same faith, with the same belief in the same God. So that's what the scripture means when Jesus says, I and the Father are one. He means they are one in unity. They are one, meaning the Father is in the Son and the Son is in the Father. And Jesus also prays that the believers may be one in the Father and in the Son. So get the proper context of what Jesus was saying and don't preach falsehood for those who do that. And for those who didn't know, well, now you know what Jesus meant when he said, I and the Father are one.